There's a script that so many of us are following without even realizing it. It's a script that promises us safety, security, but in reality, it often delivers the complete opposite. Today, we're going to tear that script apart. We're diving deep into the psychology of just in case and exposing the financial trap it really is.
Oh, we've all heard that little voice, haven't we? It whispers in your ear and, it sounds so responsible. It feels smart. It's that exact voice that's responsible for garages full of tools that never see the light of day and closets packed with outfits for some fantasy event that never happens. But here's the question. What if that voice isn't your friend?
What if that responsible thought is actually a perfectly designed trap? One that's meant to drain you of your time, your money, and your peace of mind, leaving you totally vulnerable. Well, let's pull back the curtain and see exactly how this thing works. To really see how this trap snaps shut in the real world, I want to tell you a quick story. And I have a feeling it's going to sound, well, a little too familiar.
So let's meet Sarah. Sarah's probably a lot like you and a lot like me. She's a good person, she works hard for her money, and the absolute last thing she wants is to be wasteful. She's trying to do the right thing.
So one day, Sarah's out and she spots this amazing kitchen gadget. It's on a massive discount, like a once-in-a-lifetime sale. And right on cue, that just-in-case script starts playing in her head. Wow, what a deal, she thinks. I'd be crazy to pass this up. I'll definitely use it, eventually. But here's the catch. She doesn't actually have the $150 in her budget for it. But that fear of missing out, that feeling of scarcity, is just so strong. So she reaches for the one tool that was literally invented to take advantage of that feeling, the credit card. It's even got one of those zero-interest intro offers. So she swipes. The gadget comes home and, you guessed it, gets shoved into a cabinet with all the other good ideas. And then, of course, the twist. Just 3 weeks later, a real problem pops up. She goes to start her car, and nothing. The battery's totally dead. A new one is going to cost her $220, but her cash is gone, already spent on deals and maybes. So she's got no choice. She has to pull out that credit card all over again. And this, right here, is the lie at the heart of the whole thing. The just-in-case gadget didn't make her more secure, it made her less secure. By turning her flexible cash into a useless hunk of plastic and metal, it literally created a financial emergency that didn't need to happen. The trap just snapped shut. So why on earth do we fall for this? It seems so obvious when you lay it out, right? Well, it's because the just-in-case mindset isn't about logic at all. It's a script that runs entirely on fear. See, we tell ourselves a nice little story. We say we're being responsible, that we're prepared for anything. But that's just an illusion. The hard reality is that this way of thinking makes us incredibly vulnerable. It drains our power because it tricks us into trading real, powerful, flexible cash for a pile of inflexible, depreciating stuff. And at the very core of it all is this deep-seated fear of scarcity. It's that nagging feeling that someday you'll desperately need something and you won't have it. That fear is so powerful that it convinces us to see a credit card, a literal debt machine, as a helpful tool instead of the trap it actually is. Now, this isn't just some harmless quirk. This fear has very real consequences that come for your financial freedom in 3 specific, destructive ways. Okay, let's break it down. First, it absolutely demolishes your cash flow. Second, it makes being in debt feel, well, normal. And finally, it buries you alive in both physical and mental clutter. So think about this for a second. The average home in America has something like $2,000 worth of just-in-case junk just sitting around collecting dust. You know what I'm talking about. Extra tools you've never touched, clothes that still have the tags on, electronics from 5 years ago. But here's the critical piece you have to understand. You don't actually have $2,000. What you have is a museum of stuff that's losing value every single day. We call this dead money. It's trapped. It's useless. When a real emergency hits, like that car battery, you can't pay the mechanic with an old treadmill, can you? You're forced into debt because all your real money is imprisoned in things. And that leads us right to the next problem. It normalizes the debt trap. The just-in-case mindset is what convinces you that you need a huge house with a guest room just in case someone visits, a room you might use twice a year, trapping you in a 30-year mortgage. They tell us this is good debt. That is a lie. There's no such thing. There is only your money and the money you owe other people. And interest? That's just the fee you pay for being locked in their trap. Okay, enough of the problem. How do we get out of this? How do we break free? Look, you can't just tidy up your garage. That's not the answer. You have to go deeper and change the mindset that creates the clutter in the first place. So here it is, your 4-step escape plan.
We're going to start with a fundamental shift in how you think. Then, we'll create the perfect antidote, something we call a freedom fund. After that, we're going to put a strict new rule in place for every single purchase. And finally, we start the purge, where we actively take apart the trap you're in. All right, this right here is the absolute core of the mindset shift. You have to switch from operating out of fear, what if I need this thing someday, to operating out of confidence. I will have the resources to get what I need if and when I need it. So instead of that $150 gadget, you put that $150 in savings. The gadget is dead money. It rots, it loses value. But the cash, that is living money. It's flexible, it's powerful, it's real security. That cash becomes your freedom fund, and it's the only just-in-case item you'll ever truly need.
And this is where the real fun begins, the purge. I want you to look around your home. That clutter you see, it isn't just stuff. It is trapped cash. It's potential energy. Every single item you sell is like setting a prisoner free. You take every dollar you make from selling that junk and you use it to build your freedom fund or to break the chains of debt. You turn the mistakes of your past into the fuel for your future.
When you go through this whole plan, something amazing happens. You get to completely redefine what security actually feels like. See, it has nothing to do with a garage full of things you might use one day. Real security, well, it's something else entirely.
Here's what true security really is. It's having zero, and I mean zero, debt to your name. It's having more money coming in than going out every single month. And it's having a fully funded freedom fund ready for whatever life decides to throw at you, so you never ever have to go crawling back to a lender again. So at the end of the day, you just have to stop buying into the just-in-case story. Because you need to understand, it was never your story to begin with. It's a script, and it was written by banks and credit card companies to turn you into a predictable, profitable character in their story.
They handed you their script, and the ending is always the same: clutter, anxiety, and a lifetime of debt. So the only real question left is this: are you ready to tear that script to pieces and finally start writing your own?